She's mediocre, really. Of all the ochres, she's the meatiest.
You are like a earlobe. You're just there, just wobbling.
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerve herder.
Dirt-eating piece of slime. You scum-sucking pig. You son of a motherless goat.
You are a sad, strange little man.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people!
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry.
It's the Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends podcast.
This now, my God. You're the busiest man in Hollywood. You're like Ryan Seacrest.
A much less pretty, talented version.
Much less money.
Less everything.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends, brought to you by our friends. That's such a that just cancels it out. Oh shit! Sorry about that.
Is that an important phone call, Sadie? You're working.
Sorry about that. Tallent Real Estate. This is where they're experts from start to finish. I remember selling our last house. It was so overwhelming because I didn't know what I needed to do. And it's not like something that you do regularly, hopefully. You do it a couple times in your life, so you want to make sure that you get it right. And I have to tell you, Amy and the folks at Tallent Real Estate, she's got the best crew around, really. And they do everything from start to finish. When I say that, Shawn, I mean, they just kind of take the ball and run with it, and they can help with staging and they can help with everything in between. So be sure to check them out. homeandnoco.com. That's homeandnoco.com.
Yeah, I've done it twice in the last 5 years. It sucks every single time. So it's nice to have somebody that makes it suck less.
Well, and I never have worked with Amy, but I see how she does things and I'm like, wow.
Kind of makes you want to move. You should move. You should get a new house.
You're so good, Amy. We would like to sell our home and have you pick another home for us. You have a list today, Shawn. What's the list?
We haven't done a list in a little while, so this one I just found. It popped up on my thing, and I like it. So the top 10 everyday irritations.
Got it.
What's your number one irritation? Like these are you can't say dumb shit. Like these are everyday things that you have to deal with. Like
okay, I got it.
Okay, what you got?
I got it. Ready? And this is going to probably make me sound awful, but I never look forward to taking a shower ever.
Really?
It's like a fucking chore where I'm like, oh, but it's different for a guy. Like Ryan will go in the bathroom in the morning and within 15 minutes, he's like perfectly clean and dressed. And it's different when you have, when you're a girl, you have to buff and pluck and wash with different levels of soap in your hair. And I mean, it's a lot. And so I always feel like when I'm done and my hair's dried and I'm like, I did it.
Really? I don't think I've ever heard that from anybody. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they dislike a shower. It's one of my favorite things of the day. It's like a little old.
Really?
I love it.
God, I hate it.
It feels good. I take too many showers. I've been reading here lately that you're not supposed to. It's bad for your skin to shower every day. I shower every day. It's maybe once a month where I don't shower for like a second day, but it's almost every day.
And then you just feel gnarly.
I don't even necessarily feel gnarly. It's just part of my routine. Like it's part of what wakes me up in the morning. I like getting up, taking a shower. It's part of just.
Well, listen, when I'm done doing it, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I did that. I smell nice. And I do it every day. It's not like I'm just.
You shower every day?
I do. Yeah.
Most women don't.
See, here's where I'm really screwed is what I do like is I like to take baths at night before bed. So every night before bed, I take a bath. And to me, that is what I imagine the effects of a shower would be, where I'm like, I love just being surrounded by hot water. And it's just baths are so good. And I know people who are like, oh, how do you take a bath? That's so disgusting. And I guess I'm just disgusting. Now, I don't wash my hair in the bath, but you just do kind of lay in your own filth, but
Yeah.
damn.
I
look
like
for
it too. It feels good. But yeah, if you're trying to get clean, I don't know that baths are necessarily the best way to do it, but
Yeah.
they feel good. I can't fit in the bathtub very good. I'm kind of a long, lengthy dude, and so
Yeah.
even we have an oversized bathtub, and even getting into that thing is just it's I have to bend my legs, and then parts of my legs stick out, and
Can we talk about something a little personal? Yes.
I don't know. Can we?
Have you and Shannon ever
Yeah, we've
romantically
tried.
done
Yeah,
a bath? I can tell you nothing is more uncomfortable than
yeah,
romantic bath. It
it's
fucking sucks,
mhm.
and it's so weird.
Well, plus there's like on one end there's the faucet, and so you gotta dodge the faucet
I
because
know.
otherwise it's gonna be in somebody's back, and then our bathtub has like a drain on one of the ends too, like a halfway up, and
Yeah.
that's in somebody's back, and it's just yeah,
It just kills the
it
mood.
sounds awesome. Like when it's happened, I'm like, "Yes, I love this idea," and then I get in and I'm like, "I hate this idea. Whose
And the
idea
water
was
kinda,
this?"
like, goes cold,
Yeah,
and
there's a
there's
lot
just
of things
something
sticking
about
out.
floating. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff's floating around that you don't wanna, yeah, it's
yeah,
not
it's bad
good.
news.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But, I feel like now as I'm older, I'm like, I know what works and I know what doesn't. And let me tell you, bath is a big old waste of time. We're not gonna do that because it is really, not fun. I have to say that.
I don't like the couple showers either, if I'm being quite honest
I
with you.
don't like
Yeah.
those either.
It's just that not everybody can be under the water at once, so one person's half out, and my ass is cold because it's sticking out of the water, and the positions are bad. It's just not good. It's yeah.
It's just
Wait
terrible
until
sex.
bathe yourself and then do whatever you're gonna do with your partner, but don't try to bathe and do because it doesn't work good.
Yeah, it's the worst. What else is bad sex? You know what? Pool sex, I've only done that, like, once, and it was not good.
I
It
don't
was
know.
like
How do you do that without
well,
getting caught? You have a
I don't
pool in
wanna,
your
like, get
house?
into, like, how
No, I'm not talking about, like, how it happens. I'm talking about how do you do it without somebody
no, but,
seeing
like,
you
we
doing it?
went on a vacation,
You had a
and,
pool in your room?
we had a little like, a plunge pool on the p like, the
Rich people stuff.
okay, yeah, so rich. Anyway,
I've never had a pool in my freaking hotel room.
it's not in the room. You open your sliding door, and there's just a little plunge pool.
Can
It's
other
not
people
that
go in it?
bougie. Huh?
Can other people go in it?
No, it's like your private little pool area, and it's got,
Yeah,
like, seats and stuff.
that
You're so full of shit.
sounds
So it
expensive.
okay, well, it wasn't insane, but I will say, like, no, I'm not nearly as adventurous as I once was, where I'm like, "Let's try it," you
Yeah,
know?
that I just in water in general is weird too, so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the next well, you never answered. What do you find every day
Well,
that's
well, no, on the topic we were just talking about, we have a hot tub that just died, by the way, so if there's any hot tub people out there that wanna fix my hot tub, I could use your help. It was making a lot of noise, and Shannon was like, "The neighbors are gonna call, and they're gonna make a complaint because it's, like, shaking the house," and I'm so deaf, I couldn't even hear it. So she kept telling me I need to shut it off, and I was like, "Nope, I'm holding on to this thing till the bitter end," and it was loud. I mean, it sounded like a diesel engine when it was trying to circulate the water. And so finally I went out there 2 or 3 days ago and I checked and the water was not hot anymore. And so it's now officially off.
like
But
the final bow?
what I was getting at with that was I've tried to like make the moves on Shannon in our hot tub. And she's like, "What if the neighbors look out?" And so I never
Like,
got
even better.
yeah, never got to try it.
Really?
Yeah, I bet that probably wouldn't be good either. I would be disappointed. So I'm kind of happy it didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, well
But yeah, my hot tub is now broken. So what I'm planning on doing with my hot tub is I'm gonna keep it through the summer because I'm just gonna let the kids play in it. It's like a swimming pool. That's a good idea, right? Like it's not
I
gonna be
mean, I
hot.
don't
It's
see why
just
not.
it's a receptacle at this point. It just holds water.
But really, other than Boone, will your other kids wanna
Oh yeah,
swim
they'll
in
go in it.
the cold water?
It's not gonna be cold. It gets hot. So by the time like mid-July hits, the
Yeah, but that
sun is
water
gonna
is gonna
warm
be
it.
super gross. There's gonna be bugs in it and shit. Are you
Yeah.
gonna drain it and
Have you never
refill it?
had like a pumped up pool in your backyard?
No, because
Like
it
a
ruins
kiddie pool?
grass. It ruins
And
grass.
that's true. It
And
does
so
ruin.
that's a big no-no.
Yeah, well, mine's not in my grass. It's where my hot tub was because it is my hot tub. So I don't have to worry about that. So I got a swimming pool for the summer.
Wow. Sorry. I just couldn't muster up enough excitement on that. Wow, that's a good idea. I mean, listen, you're gonna have to pay to get it hauled away at some point. You might as well use it. Go ahead.
I would say that my number one irritation on a daily basis, because we've talked about this and I have a commute to work every day. So I drive on I-25, the interstate, for like I drive 80 miles round trip every day. And it's all on the highway.
God,
And
you drive so much.
I'm a pretty fast driver. Like I like going pretty fast. We'll just leave it at that. And usually to go fast, you're in the left lane, right? Every freaking day there's somebody going under the speed limit in the left lane. And so that's my top everyday irritation. My road rage gets worse and worse by the day. And it's
Okay.
only for that. Like there's nothing else that you can do on the road that's going to drive me crazy. I try to think about it, nothing else. If you
Do you
drive
ever though
slow in the
think
left lane,
that I think everybody has done this before, where you're kind of like zoned out and you don't mean it, and then you realize there's a line of cars behind you and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." Have you ever done that?
yeah, probably not very often though. I use my cruise control a lot, which one of my buddies told me is a pussy move, by the way. He said using cruise control is a pussy move. And I was like,
Really? That's a
why?
dumb thing
It
to be
makes you less
judged on.
manly.
Yeah. You don't walk out on your family, you take care of your kids, but you're a pussy because you just wanna rest your fucking foot?
Well,
That's dumb.
it's not even that. I like knowing that I'm going 90 and not
Oh,
because sometimes if I don't put cruise control on, I'll look down and I'm going 110, and that's bad
good
news. You get
God.
pulled over going 110, you go to jail.
I know, I just watched this TikTok video, and it was this guy, and I don't know, I must follow this account, which is on brand, where it's people who just make big mistakes. This one kid, he's probably, like, in his early 20s. He's got 2 guys with him in the car, and it's probably a sweet car, it's probably something his dad bought him, and he's, like, "Rrr, rrr," revving it up, and then he's like, "Look at how fast I can go," and of course, they're filming it on their phone. Whoop! Dude passes a cop. I feel that is such good street justice because I always wish for that to happen. When somebody like flies by me and they're an asshole, I always think, I wish there was a cop up there. But I feel like that never does happen. So now I follow this account where I can get that satisfaction.
That's true. There you go. Well, plus you don't leave your house very often, so the likelihood of you seeing somebody get pulled over that's being an asshole on the road slim to none.
I really, it's becoming a problem how little I leave my home. I went to Safeway yesterday and they didn't have what I needed. And so I went to King Supers across the street. And let me tell you, I got home and it was like I'd gone on a cross country voyage. I was like, don't talk to me. And so many people. And, this is the middle of the week. I mean, I wouldn't survive on a Saturday anymore at Kohl's. Those days, those fighting days are behind me, along with shower sex.
Well, by the way, no one goes to Kohl's anymore. I went to one recently on a Saturday, and I was like, "Man, this used to be busy." I planned on like 30 minutes to wait in line because that's how long it used to take. There wasn't a soul in there. I can't believe that
Really?
these things are still open. Yeah, it's a sad day. That'll be sad, but mark it down. Within the next couple of years, they'll hold on as long as they can. But Kohl's ain't gonna exist, my friend.
Can I tell
So
you something?
use
Not to
that
break
Kohl's cash.
God, I love Kohl's Cash. That stuff is legit. But what I'm going to tell you is I just put an order in on Temu again, and you can get so many amazing deals. And I fall into this thing where I'll start um, just kind of scrolling through Temu. It's never ending. It's like everything that's ever been on the internet. But I'm saying that because I see things where like, I've seen this for sale on a Facebook ad, and they want $42.99, and
Yeah.
on Temu, it's 12 cents. What the fizzle fuck? And, so I don't know. I was thinking the other day with sites like Temu, I could type in anything in this stupid site. And can I tell you, I put the order in like 2 days ago, and I already got an alert that it's like shipped and on its way.
Wow.
I'm shocked at how good Temu does. I really am.
I've never I've never used Temu. I've never went on it. I've told before, my daughter bought something on there and it was a fiasco getting it. And so I thought I was getting hacked. It was just bad news. So I've avoided Temu. Quite frankly, Amazon has everything at this point. And
Well, but
most of the shit
Temu
that I
has
can get
it.
on Amazon, I can get by tonight. Like if I place an order right now, tonight I'll have it.
But if you're
And
willing to wait a little bit, like I found this on Temu. It's like this earring cuff, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I just bought shit you not, same model, same earring cuff, and it was like 90 something dollars, and on fucking Temu it was 89 cents." And I
How do they
thought,
do it? How do they make money?
I don't know how they do it. I don't even know if it's
By
like some
stealing
sort
your
of
credit card
takeover.
information. This is how. They steal your credit card information, and then they
No.
take your 89 cents, but then they take your credit card and they go buy a Lamborghini.
No, I don't think that's true at all, even though somebody did take my info and they've bought in a few mattresses, and I'm like, slow down on the mattress buying. And I keep reaching out and going, hi, it's me again. Did not buy a mattress from you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm a mess. But
All right,
no, it's just go ahead, keep going.
well, we haven't done this list yet that we've been teasing for the last now 14 minutes. So here we
Okay,
go.
go
Number
ahead.
10, by the way, in case you forgot, the top 10 everyday irritations. This according to the Mirror. Number 10, the last person in the bathroom uses up the toilet paper and doesn't replace the roll.
Yeah, I'm used to that kind of life, though. I've kind of turned myself over to it where I will forever be the toilet paper changer slash refrigerator cleaner slash, I don't know, I can go on and on.
My family will put the toilet paper, they'll replace the toilet paper, they won't put it on the roll. The empty roll will still be on the roll, and then on top of that, just sitting up there will be the new roll of toilet paper. And it's my job.
That is pretty annoying. That's insanely annoying.
It's my job to take off the empty cardboard thing, throw it away, and put the new toilet paper on the roll.
Can you even really imagine? I mean, can you believe how lazy we've all become? You used to go out to like an outhouse. If you had to shit because you didn't feel good or something in the middle of the night, you had to literally go outside and walk around. And maybe it was snowing outside. It didn't matter. You had to go sit in a creaky ass outhouse. And now we're like, we're too lazy to put the actual toilet paper on the spring rod, which is like, that's not hard. That's not hard. You know what I see all the time? I see the toilet paper thing. I'm one of those people who I make like a pile in the same place. If you're going upstairs, grab some of this shit. It belongs upstairs.
Yep. Oh, we
Nobody
do that
grabs
too.
it.
Nope.
It's invisible to everyone but my eyes.
Yep.
And then I end up taking it up every single time. No one follows the basket theory.
Yeah, I've experienced that myself. My 13-year-old, who is the king culprit of the toilet paper thing, by the way, he's also, we've talked about this, he's the snack eater. He eats all the snacks in the house. Well, when we moved into the house that we have now, there's for some reason in my garage, I don't know why, but there's a hole in the wall. It's a perfect circle hole in the drywall. And so it's just a hole that goes down. Well, we got a deep freezer like 6 months ago, and the ice cream's in the deep freezer, like the ice cream bars and stuff. And so I go out to the deep freeze the other day to get a hamburger or something. And I look right next to the deep freeze where that hole is. And inside that hole, stuffed in it, is thousands of ice cream bar wrappers. And then I went inside, and there's 7 things of toilet paper sitting on the roll, but not on the roll. And it was a bad night for my 13-year-old. He was in big trouble.
I feel like middle children are really hard. I have 3, you have 3. Our oldest daughter, Sophie, she's just like, set it and forget it. This kid has always gotten straight A's, never had to worry about her. And then, you know, Cooper, he's not a crazy kid, but I don't know. Middle ones are always so defiant and so hard. And no matter how, and what worries me is Murphy is leaning a bit more towards the hard road
Well,
where,
that's
you know,
Boone, yeah. It's because they're watching that middle one do the hard stuff, and then they're like, well, I can do that. I see
yeah,
Boone
but you
doing the same
watch them
stupid
get
shit.
into trouble. No,
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
not when you're
I
eating
tell
42
Shannon all
ice
the time,
cream.
I don't think our consequences are strict enough. Like they're not
They're not
resonating.
sticking.
Whatever we're doing to punish these kids is not working because they go right back to doing the same stuff. So maybe we got to go a little bit harder. I don't know, but hey, we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, it's really hard. And who knows if you ever will figure it out.
We
Will
won't.
any of us ever
No.
figure it out? I don't think so. But take solace in everyone listening, knowing that no one knows what they're doing. No one. And the people who act like they know what they're doing, why they know they know less than anyone else in the world.
They just got lucky. They got a Sophie or a Shay, and that's all they have. And they didn't get one of these troublemakers. It's not bad parenting. It's just you got a
It's the
dud.
roll of the dice, folks.
You got a dud. And I love that. I love that. No, I love that. Hey, listen. I love the dud just as much as the superstar, but
Yeah, but the thing about
takes a
Cooper
little
is
more
that
work.
of the 3 kids, this kid makes me laugh. Like, he
Yeah,
does
for
shit
sure.
where I am like,
Oh.
I like that. This is funny. Like, he did this really elaborate prank on me for days. For days, he did this prank where there's this app on the phone that you can use, and you could use it to prank call people. And so one day I got a call, and it was a recording, and it's like, "Thank you for signing up for Cat Facts. Every day we will call you with a new cat fact." And I'm like, "I didn't sign up for this shit, but whatever." And it's like, and it is free. And I'm like, "Well, all right, the joke's on you, fucker, because I'm going to learn about cats every day for free. And you thought this was funny." And so the first day, it's like, um, cats cover up their duty because of predators. And I'm like, huh, didn't know that. Always been a dog person. So this is news. I'm happy to learn. And so I learned that. And then the next day, I was telling Cooper about day one. I'm like, dude, somebody signed me up for this thing called Cat Facts. And he's like, what? And I'm explaining it to him. Like, I guess every day I'm going to get a call about a cat fact. So then he and I are at Dick's together, and my phone
You love
starts
Dick's.
ringing. Yeah, my phone starts ringing. I'm like, "Oh my God, Cooper, cat facts. It's cat facts." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, answer it." And so I answer it, and it's like, cats cover their poo because of predators. And I'm like, wait a second. That was yesterday's cat fact. But there was one difference. This time it didn't say it's free. It said your card will be charged
Oh.
$19.99 a week or some shit like that for cat facts. And I'm like, "Oh, no. I don't want cat facts. I thought this was a free service, and now they're saying I have to pay." So then it says, if you want to get out of cat facts, which I am, you have to say that you want out of cat facts. And I'm so dumb and naive. I'm in the middle of Dick's and I'm yelling, "I want out of cat facts." And he was like in a whole different area. You know why? Because he was cat facts. Cooper was calling me from his phone. He'd sneak away and call me, and I'd be like, "Where's Cooper when cat facts is happening?" And it's because he was cat facts. And I panicked because I thought, how do you even do that? If someone were to sign you up for a service and you don't know how they signed you up, I'm like Googling cat facts. It's not real. It's a,
Well, there's scams out there now where you got to be careful, because what they'll do is they'll try to get you to say stuff, and they'll record it in a different context, and then
yeah.
they'll use it to like have your voice saying that you consented to something that you didn't consent to. And
Yeah.
so the best thing you can do, I know that this was just a funny prank from Cooper, but the best thing you can do in a situation like that is to hang up. Don't say anything, because if you start saying shit, they'll use your voice. They can also, and this sounds crazy, like we wouldn't even have talked about this 6 months ago, definitely not 2 years ago, but they can now AI clone your voice. And so if you say enough, they can take that sample and then they can make a reproduction, an AI Sadie that will say anything.
Yeah,
That's
that's
scary.
incredibly
We live in
frightening.
a
But I don't
scary
think
world. All right.
well, I don't
Number
think
9.
that no, okay. We're done.
Sorry, you don't think it's
Shut up. Keep
right.
going, Brett.
Number 9, when someone could hold the door for you but doesn't.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
just so
annoying.
rude.
I
And you
think
know what I
sometimes it's
always
by
think?
mistake, though. I think sometimes they're in a hurry. Like, I see the best in people.
No.
Sometimes they're in a hurry and they didn't realize somebody was behind them. And
You know
I'm
what?
not
You
saying
might
that
be
it's
right.
nice, but I'm like, maybe that person isn't actually an asshole. They're in their own little trance. And so I give them a benefit of the doubt. It pisses me
But
off
you
way
don't when
more on the
driving? It's the same thing
no.
with driving. Maybe
Yeah, I guess
there
that's true, but that's still a different kind of rage, because holding the door didn't cost me anything other than the fact that I had to reach out my arm and open the door for myself. If you're driving slow in the left lane, you're costing me time with my family, and that's a problem.
Oh,
And so you're
Shawn.
affecting my life. But conversely, and I've talked about this being my biggest like anger trigger, is when I hold the door for somebody and they don't say thank you. They just look at
Oh,
you like, "You're damn right you held the door for me." Like, I almost want to fight at that point. Like, little old
Ryan.
ladies are sometimes the worst too. I can't fight them, but I want to. Like, I don't
Yeah,
give a
but
shit
old
if you're
ladies
94. Just
No,
say
you
thank
should do it
you.
out of yeah, you're right, you're right. But a lot of old people just think at my grandma's nursing home back in the day, there was one old dude that would constantly try to fill me up. And I just think you get to an age where you're like, rules don't apply, bitches.
What
And,
do you mean he tried to fill you up?
Like he would try to like corner me. I was like 18, 19. He would kind of corner me and want to hug me a bunch. And I knew what was going on. I was 19, but he fought for our country. So I let him have a squeeze. Thanks for listening.
You're a good person, good human being, Sadie. Number 8, cyclists who hog the road. You probably see this a lot in your little town of Fort Collins because it's like Cycle City, USA.
It is. It's a lot. It's a lot. What annoys me about that is when they, in the same vein, when a bunch of bicyclists get in the same area, like a group, and then they just don't move. Oh, you know what pisses me off now that we're on this subject? Sorry. What pisses me off is when I let someone in because they're assholes and they saw that the road was going to close, but they didn't believe it. And then I let them in and they don't do the wave.
Yeah,
I feel like the wave is dying.
I do remember that. Yeah, the wave doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I tell Sophie and Cooper, since they were little, I said, you wave. If someone lets you in, you give them that wave.
I still
that's
wave.
what you do. I
for
wave
sure.
too. And a lot of people.
There's a lot of people that just won't let your ass in anymore either. They just no. You'll be in a traffic jam and clearly the lane's going to end and like it's my turn to like zipper in because that's how it's supposed to be. Like one car goes, one car comes in, one car goes, one car comes in. And the car that's supposed to let you in ain't going to let you in. They just are not going to let you in. And that's more and more common these days. And I kind of want to just ram my truck into them.
Well, you know what? If I'm with my mom will say, they're from California. I'm sure of it. Like, yeah, even though, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, fucking Californians not opening the door for people and being rude. Or what about when people are in the middle of the aisle at the grocery store? Someone like me, it's hard for me to go places out of just complete sheer fear of everything. And so when you're standing in the middle and I need to get my Cheetos and you're standing there talking about, how the kids are and, I can't believe you graduated. And that's not that big of a deal. Cause again, I think a lot of times you kind of zone out. But what a big deal to me is when they act pissed because you're like, excuse me.
Yeah, if they act pissed, that's mean.
And I always think, you know what? I didn't have to say excuse me. I could have just walked right through your damn conversation, but I was trying to be polite.
Well, that was number 8, cyclists who hog the road. And by the way, I don't know the cyclist rules. And so that's what's hardest for me is like, am I supposed to sit behind?
I hit them?
Yeah.
No, Shawn.
Why? There's a bike lane over here and a sidewalk. Why are you in the road making me go really slow? Am I supposed to stay behind you? Am I supposed to give you space? I just don't know. And so it causes a lot of confusion for me. So sometimes I run them over. Number 7, slow walkers, especially when you're in a hurry. That's only really at the airport, I feel like. When else?
No.
Speed walk.
Have you ever been driving down trying to find a parking spot at like the Walmart and there's like some random person on their phone in the middle of the road and they're just walking and you're behind them in a car.
Yeah,
and I always think I could just hit you. I'm not going to hit you because I'm not going to jail today, but you dumbass, open your eyes.
You know the parking lot that's the worst on the weekend? Costco.
Oh,
people are fighting for parking spots, and then you've got millions of people with their carts with giant things of toilet paper and cereal and stuff that is going to last them for a month and taken up. It's just bad news. I can't believe there's not like people going to jail for fights in the Costco parking lot on the weekends. Number 6, you can't remember a password.
Yeah, it's annoying. And then you go through the whole thing about it, and then you finally type in the new password and it says you can't use the old password, right? But you've already typed it in a million times and you're like, huh?
For me, the hardest one for me is State Farm. I don't need my insurance cards very often, but when I do, I log in there and for some reason they have like this really like long rule. You have to type out a super long password. So it's a password that I've never used for anything else. I can never guess what it was. And then it's like a 14-hour thing to try to get a new password, and it's horrible. And I'm going to go to Geico pretty soon because of it.
You know what, though? I have started putting everything in my phone because I always have my phone. And so I just go into my library. So I have emails and stuff like that because, I forget the minute I type it in, unless it's the one that I use very regularly, I'm like, what did I just type?
Well, this is why you get hacked too, because
It's true.
All right,
Okay,
number
Max.
5, bad parkers who take up more than one space. It doesn't bug me if it's in a place where there's lots of room, like do your thing.
But it never is. It's always at a place that's like packed and everyone's walking by going, you asshole.
So at my office at work, it's a big parking lot for let's just say that at any time it's never more than half full, and that's the most full it ever is. And so I have this parking spot that I like that's like way in the corner. It's all by myself. I can park over there and then I have lots of room. I have a big truck. It's a bitch to park. Lately, there's been this woman in an SUV who parks right next to me. And so I moved my spot yesterday because I was like, I wonder if it's just like me she's following or if she like claimed this spot too. And sure enough, she parked right next to me. And so like,
I used to work with somebody who drove me insane because I would park in the same spot every morning and it was close to the door because we were the first people in the building in the morning.
And you don't like exercise.
I was gonna blame the darkness, but yeah. No, but I would because it was under a light and I don't know. I watch a lot of Dateline and if you're a chick, you gotta really think of this stuff, as sad as that is. So, and this fucker would start parking in my spot and he knew he was doing it.
Who was it?
No, I'm not gonna say.
Come on. We've called people
I don't know.
before.
Do the math, dipshit.
Somebody else that comes in at the same time as you had to have been Jimmy Lakey.
Or my partner.
Oh, Scott. Scott got a call. He doesn't.
Yeah, and I was so if you don't know, I did a radio show with somebody for a long, long, long time. And oh my God, he would do little things like that would just, and I'm sure I did a lot more things that grated on his nerves.
100%. Now that I work with you, I can attest to that.
Shut up.
All right. Hey, we got to go. Number 4, people who don't use turn signals. Obviously, that pisses everybody off. Boring. Number 3, being stuck on hold. It's getting worse and worse. I go to a dermatologist because I have rashes on my butthole. And I'm just kidding. But I I go to the dermatologist.
I'm cutting that out. Everything after you saying you have a rash on your butthole.
When I cannot get through to this person, they call me, and it's like if I don't answer, which they always call when we're recording this, so I can't. I try to call them back. It's impossible. I sit on hold for 47,000 hours. And I leave a message and then they never call, but it's just horrible. And so I agree. That's bad.
That's annoying.
All that to tell you, I have a rash on my butthole.
Also, can I say that 90% of the time, you're not even waiting for a real person. You're waiting for a robot to get the info. Like it used to be, you'd wait for the operator. You'd wait and wait. And then you talk to somebody. And now it's just.
You'd think it would get better too, because you don't have to be on hold as much because a lot of things can be taken care of online. You don't have to call for everything anymore. So you would think that the hold times in this generation would be less, but they're not. They're more.
Well, in the next episode, because we're out of time for this episode.
Well, we haven't gotten to number 1, so
I know. I'm not going to end it, but I'm going to say in that vein, in the next episode, let's talk about things that should have gotten better with time, but I feel have completely gone backwards and become sucky.
So
let's do that now. Okay. Are we at number 1?
No, we're at number 2, which is potholes. Yeah, those suck. And they're worse in Colorado, especially this time of year, because the road freezes and then it doesn't freeze and then it causes potholes. The number 1 everyday irritation is when someone doesn't clean up after their dog, especially if you step in it.
Oh, yeah.
Have you stepped in dog shit lately?
Nope. I keep an eagle eye on that stuff. Murphy, I'll be like, there's a turd, and she'll step right in the turd. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
At my old house, I'm lucky the house I live in right now, the neighbors must be pretty good because there's no dogs that shit in my lawn and then it doesn't get picked up. But at my last house, it was an everyday thing. I was cleaning up somebody's turd out of my front yard that wasn't my own dog turd. It seemed to go every day and it drove me crazy.
Do you think they hated you?
No, I think they just were lazy and they let their dog shit in my yard and didn't pick it up.
On that note, let's thank our sponsors at Cristiana Salon and Spa, because
they're the kind of folks that would not let their dog
they would absolutely never, not one of the employees there would ever allow their dog to shit and walk away, because that's not who they are. That's not their core. They're going to make sure that you get everything you need to feel pampered. And you know what? Damn it. sometimes you just need to go in and get a glass. When I was in there last week getting my hair done, there was a lady getting her hair done. She was drinking a Bud Light. That's right. They give you alcohol if you're old enough and you can sit and relax and enjoy. And I'm like, this is perfect.
What else do they do there? Is it just hair?
Well, I was just going to say they do nails, they do massages.
Oh, they do? They'll rub you down.
Yeah, they do a ton of stuff. So definitely go and check them out. They're in Johnstown by Shields in that little parking area. See, I'm totally off track because I'm thinking of that chick drinking a beer. It was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was like on a Tuesday, and good for her. I want to be like her. So
there's a crumble cookie in that same parking lot.
No,
that sounds like a perfect day. I'll get a crumble cookie. I'll go in there, let them rub me down a little bit, drink a Bud Light, get my hair combed.
Right? It's like amazing. So everybody needs a little bit of that. So go and see our friends at Cristiana. Oh my God, another call. I'm so sorry.
Well, this is over. That could have waited 4 seconds and then no one would have known. But that's all right, Sadie. We're learning every day. Okay, bye.
See you tomorrow. Oh, okay. Are we okay?
Are you done? Are you
Be
done?
sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and automatic download. I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
Shawn.
They already knew that, but thank you for getting that in there. My life wouldn't have been the same without it.